All right, so missing number problem from the CSES problem set. So here is the instruction. You are given all numbers between 1 until n except 1. Your task is to find the missing number. The first input line contains of an integer n. The second line contains n minus 1 numbers. Each number is distinct and between 1 and n inclusive. Print the missing number, okay? And you have that n is up to 2 times 10 to the power of 5, okay? And you have this sample input here where he gives you a 5. 2, 3, 1, and 5, and then you have to output that 4 is the number that is actually missing. So a solution is here. So the solution I developed uses a boolean array that has 2 times 100,000 plus 1 because we have 0 indexing in our arrays, so that I have as much elements as I possibly may have. Okay, and this boolean array, because it is global, all of the values of this boolean array will be set to false. Okay, so for index 7, for example, is going to be set to false, and for any other index for that matter. Okay, so we initially have all the indexes to be missing. That's what we are thinking of, or what we are thinking about. We ignore the index with number 0 because we start from number 1. So from indexes from number 1 up until 200,000, our values are set to false. Okay, that's the takeaway from this line. Then in my solution, I just read in n, okay? And then I repeat from 1 up until n minus 1, so n minus 1 times essentially. And I read the numbers here. I use a variable called x. I read in x. And then for this number x, I go to the index of my boolean array here, which this x value represents. And I set the position to be equal to 1, okay? So true. So I have found so that specific value has appeared, okay? And what I do next is I have another loop to go and find out which value did I miss, okay? So I go from 1 up until n, and I just have a simple if here. So if for value I, okay, this loop I used here uses I as the index, okay? It's in my template. You can find this here essentially, okay? But anyways, I is the value that I'm trying to see if I found that value, yes or not. So this array here, A, as we said, is gonna be that specific position in my array will be set to true if I found that value. Otherwise, it will remain as it was initially, which is false, okay? So if it is false, I have found out the number that I'm missing. So I simply output this and I just return from my solution function here. And I'm essentially done, okay? So this is the solution, okay? Now, let's check if there is a better solution to this. Like, what if I told you that I do not allow you to use an array here, okay? So the only thing you are going to be able to do is just read numbers, okay? You're not going to have any array here. So how can we solve this? You can pause the video and think about this. But here is the solution, okay? So we know that the sum of all the numbers from 1 until n is what? It's the formula that we have from for counting from 1 to n, what the sum is, and that is n times n plus 1. Okay, so the multiplication is done, and then we divide by 2. Okay, so this is the sum from 1 to n. Okay. Now, using this sum, we can actually just remove from this sum all the numbers that we meet, and the remainder, the number that will remain in this sum, will be the number that we are missing. Okay, so we remove this for loop here, and what we do is that for every number we read, instead of marking it to a boolean array, we're just gonna say sum minus equals x. So this removes x from sum, okay? This is equivalent to saying sum equals to sum minus x, for those that don't know. And at the end, I'm just going to output sum. Because here, the only number that is going to remain is the one that I missed, okay? So let's save this. Let me just submit this here. now missing number, the second solution. So submit, and it is pending, testing, and accepted again. Okay, so that's the solution. So the link for both solutions will be in the description down below. I hope I helped you figure out, like, if you got stuck in this problem, figure out what you should have done. If you have any more questions, leave them down in the comments section down below, and I will see you in the next one.